The stream is live. Hi,
Hey there,
Bry.
Ann. How are
Hi.
you? Nice to
It's
see you.
great to see you. How are you?
I'm good. I am it's Sunday. It's Monday. It's
No,
Monday.
it's
We don't
Monday. There's
I
Sunday
know.
for me. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I'm a little thrown off because I'm not normally available at this time. Your Sunday afternoon. I wish I was. This would be like a
I know this
perfect
is
time.
really great
I
timing for
know.
me.
Maybe I can work on that. Maybe I can work on that. But it's the school. Like I'd be taking my kid to school right now. Anyway, um Gayute.
Gayute, the rabbit fish fan in me,
Rec-
sees and recognizes the
the
rabbit
rabid
fish
fish fan
fan
in
in
you.
you.
And I have a question about this.
Yeah.
I want to talk about last week. I was kind of going off on memory, and I want to talk a
Oh,
little.
dude, I have a list of
Well,
things I
let's
want to talk
okay.
about
I want.
today.
Why don't we
So,
talk about memory, and then I have another new little thing I want to riff on.
okay.
And if time allows, this is meant to go. This is meant to be a rather short,
Yeah, I got
ridiculous.
some stuff to do
So
today.
you're busy. So this will be an abbreviated version. That's
Well,
okay. Well, okay. We'll see how it goes.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but hi, Ann, hi, everybody. Let's set the stage here just a little bit. This is the Ridiculous podcast. It's me and my old homie Andrea from Boulder days from the '90s getting together talking about Phish, and we're both kind of like nuts for the written word. So we like to have paper in hand. And we kind of stumbled upon this format via this New Yorker 30,000 piece by Andrea Petrusic that we read together online.
Amanda. And
Amanda.
that's one of the things that we have to discuss. Did you see Trey's video where he and some friend of Amanda's are like trying to figure out the pronunciation of her last name?
Oh,
And it
that's funny. I
and
didn't
it
see that.
messed me up because I think I can't
We
tell like what's the real, but they're like, we have been saying Petrusic,
uh-huh.
but Trey said it like Petrusevich or something like that
Petricevic.
or something. I don't know. You got to
That
find it
makes
and
a
check
little more
it.
sense, to be honest.
Maybe. I don't know. So the jury is out like
That's
5
funny.
months later on
We should get
actually
her on. We should
how
get her
do
on
we
here someday.
pronounce
That's
beautiful
funny.
Amanda's last name.
What did I call
So
her? Andrea? Sorry. Okay, that's a
you did.
compliment.
That's me.
Okay,
That's me.
Amanda. Amanda.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So we found our way into
18.
this really fun format where we just go scour the web for old articles about Phish. And if you don't know Phish, then you know you need to get hip to Phish because Phish is the
What are
bomb.com.
you? I
Yeah,
mean,
what do you,
maybe it's fine if you don't know Fish, because
yeah,
I mean, we don't need another hero.
that's Tina Turner.
Tour hero.
Nice.
But if you're curious and you have the capacity to read the book,
You got to read the book.
maybe you're worthy. I mean, like you can tell you.
If you do, I promise there will. And if you might have to break through some barriers, but if you do, there's reward at the other end. I promise, lots of it.
Well said, Brian. That's some really good advice. We
It's
all have
true.
some barriers to break through with ourselves. Fish could help you or not. It's up to
Yeah.
up or down. It's up to you, as I tell the kids.
There's a great line from I think it's Bittersweet Motel. I'm trying to remember when it is, what part it is, because there's a bunch of people that ask. There was a great documentary, a sort of travel show of a camera crew traveling along with Phish. It's sort of the only real feature length documentary that's been made
Docufilm.
about
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
Docufilm that's been made about them. Bittersweet Motel. It's real fun, actually. It's pretty interesting entry point. It's them and a little bit younger and less mature Phish, but this kind of primal Phish and the Phish that we all sort of
Rabid.
initially loved.
Rabid.
Rabid.
Primal slash rabid.
They're very rabid in this, and but they ask a couple of the fans on lot who could have been me or Andrea. I look at those people and I'm like, those are people from my circle of friends,
Yeah, yeah.
you know? And they get asked questions like, I heard you have to be high to be at a Phish show. And somebody says, where'd you hear that? And he says, that's what they say. They say you have to be like high to be at a Phish show. And he says, I don't know who said that. I'm not high. I'm not high because I'm there for the music, you know? And and he says something about like, I'm not sure if it's him, you know, the one I'm talking about, or you know the guy I'm talking about.
I have not as obsessively combed through Bittersweet Motel as some other people in the Phish world, but yeah, sure.
What there's this
It
one line where he
comes
says, the more
flooding
you,
back when it's on. Yeah.
he says something about like, why do you keep coming back for more Phish? And he says something like, well, the more I put into it, the more I get out of it, he asks himself. So I would say like anybody who's like a fair, there aren't really, I suppose there are, but like fair, it's not, you can't come to appreciate this band by just dipping your toe in the water, really. I mean, it takes a little bit more than that. Yeah. So yeah, the more you put into it, maybe, you know, give it a day. I mean, give it you know, listen to a couple albums, listen to a couple shows, and don't just let your crazy fish head friends who are like, you gotta
turn you off.
It's gonna be my 75th show.
True story. Brian, I have something to tell you, and I didn't mention it last time we were on because you were sort of on early morning tear, and we were following the fire hose of your brain. And so there were a lot of things that I wanted to say that I just was like, we're on Brian's along today. But this is really cool. I had gone to see J-Rad up at Dillon Amphitheater a few weekends ago. And I went down to the floor between the first and second sets. I had a crew of friends down there. And this woman next to me taps me on the shoulder. She's like, are you Andrea? I'm like, I am. What's your name? She's like, I'm Andrea too. This is my boyfriend, Zach. And we watch you on Read Icculus. And I was like, no, you do not.
No.
She's like, yeah, we love you. Like, we're super into records. I'm like, you guys are totally there for the like Tokyo record style. And I can't like really remember how it all played out. But first recognition in the wild, in the Colorado jam band scene, Andrea and Zach. Yeah, I meant to like give a big shout out to those guys last time. Like I was just following you. So anyway, thanks for saying hi. I hope that you come back, and maybe we're terrible with like a real schedule you can count on, friends, but I think you can comment after the fact on YouTube, and we can kind of see those things. So anyway, if you guys are out there or sometime in the future, if you catch us later, it was really nice to meet you guys, and like what a pleasure to, you know, I don't know, kind of have that experience.
That's awesome.
They were so cool. Top to
awesome.
bottom, tie-dyed, love dancing with them. They're just in their groove. Really cool folks.
Wow, the circle.
I know, isn't that
That's
crazy?
so cool. Awesome. I'm so stoked to hear that. Very, very stoked. It's funny because it's kind of on the topic that I want to talk about. I mean, there's two of us watching, and I think it's you and me, and somehow it just doesn't feel like it still feels completely worthwhile, like more worthwhile than anything else I'm doing at the moment. And I don't know, like it doesn't matter that but yeah, look at that. Look at us. We got a
I mean, listen, we've talked about this numerous times. Small and mighty is a great place to grow. And if our enthusiasm is here, even if we are our only two watchers, so to speak, life, I think, is about enjoying oneself, and we enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we had we were going to take 2 weeks off, and I was like,
you enjoy myself.
That's what this thing should be called.
Yeah.
That would also be an appropriate name.
Enjoy yourself.
No,
okay. We're ridiculous. Come on. Did you see my little promo today?
I did. Thank you, you sweet one. My sweet one. That's so nice.
Here's Japan. Here's my little corner of Japan.
That's something that I didn't get to mention to you on the last stream, actually.
Yeah. Tell me.
You pointed it out, and I was so flustered with something. I was so distracted. I didn't even like. Forgive me, but I didn't even completely catch what you were saying. And for you can excuse me because it was such a weird thing that you showed that
I know.
It might even be hard to get your head around. But I have been wanting one of these things for a really, really long time. Really? And good on Milo to score that for you. In fact, I think the exact same one. and it's such a brilliant idea. And I've thought about putting them,
Yeah.
somewhere up here on my record
Yeah.
shelf. It's a little diorama, right? That has lights in it, and it's kind of prefab, and you
It's
piece it all together.
I mean, my son took, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 days to put it together before he left for college. And it was like a sweet gift for me. I
Insanely
mean,
nice.
the greatest part of the gift is like his effort to puzzle it all together.
Yeah, of
He is
course.
a creative kid that is like, oh, follow the directions, like do the thing. He loves that. So you can't really see it here very well, but I put a little story on Instagram and Facebook, and I think
Thank
you
you.
can see the detail of it a little
That's a
more.
real place, and that's a place I go to all the time.
Where is it? Is it
It's in
Shibuya?
Shinjuku. No, it's
Shinjuku.
Shinjuku. It's called Memory Lane.
Oh, no shit. Really?
It's called Omoide Yokocho. Omoide means memory, and Yokocho
Omoide
means like
Yokocho.
Omoide Yokocho, and it has a nickname, Piss Alley, and it is it has a slope to it, and halfway through it,
Huh.
there used to be these really dingy toilets. They've since
Oh,
made
no.
it all nice, and
Okay, okay.
the piss used to
Shinjuku.
like go down
Oh,
the alley.
God.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
gross.
But it's where it was the inspiration for like Blade Runner, and like when Deckard is like in the beginning of the movie, not sure you might not remember, but he's eating noodles, and it's in this like dimly lit sort of dark alley, and it's kind of scary but kind of like familiar, and that is the very spot, and that's like one of the it's been, I suppose it's from the, it goes way back. Shinjuku is not it got built after the war essentially, but
Okay.
so it's not 100 years old, but it probably remained unchanged for 3 or 4 decades, and it was only in the last few years, and I think that those little boxes that it captured sort of the
It's
somewhere
such
in
a
between
vibe in
essence.
there. I
Yeah, you
mean,
should come. I'll take you there. You're like,
yes,
whoa, I'm here.
I really do hope that one day you will take me
Oh
there.
my
We could
God,
do
I
a little
will.
sit down, have some noodles, and like,
It's
record style.
really fun. I took the Leon Russell guys there, and they just tripped. Everybody trips out over it. Now it's like, anyway, it's overrun with like little selfies. Everybody's doing
Oh,
selfies
I'm
on
so sure. Well,
but
it's
it's
fun
okay.
to have like a little representation of a magical piss-filled place once.
A memory lane. Just
A
go with
memory.
that.
Well, it makes me think about the whole piss in your ears fish comparison. So
Right.
there is something kind of like, I don't know, disgustingly analogous about
Well,
this little piss
there's one
alley
more thing.
Japan fish thing.
There's one of my favorite photographers is named Moriyama Daido, and he's got this very famous picture of this dog, and it's the black dog. It kind of looks like the cover of maybe one of those Pearl Jam records. It's just like it's this dog that you've seen before,
Okay.
and it's a black dog kind of like looking back at you like this, like Animal, like from Pink Floyd's Animals or something.
Sure,
You just
sure.
you can see it and be like, I know, and I think it's in that alley, and it has like a Moriyama got famous for, well, texture. His photos are kind of the first photos that really celebrated lo-fi almost.
Like
Like a
grainy or
grainy
like,
and gritty
okay,
and out of focus and
cool.
tilted perspectives and kind of punky. And he was doing this in the like long time ago. And this dog is from like 63 or 61 or maybe
Oh,
even earlier.
neat.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so it got it. Yes, and I think I love it for that reason. And when it's lost a little bit of its zada, when it's lost a little bit of its grit, it's a little bit sad, because that's what it represents to me. Is like, I love that juxtaposition on the big shiny cocoon tower and the big bright lights of Kabukicho. It's kind of fun to like that little place. So that's actually a really special place. I'm pretty impressed and I'm actually personally touched. I mean, I can't imagine that Ridiculous or Japan has, I don't know, is Milo, is he kind of nuts about Japan? I mean, why Japan? Why did what was
So
the
they
impetus?
sell these little bookshelf
Yeah, I've seen them
moments
all.
at
There's like a bunch of different ones, but he could have picked any. Why the Japan one?
he worked this summer at the Boulder bookstore right on Pearl Street.
You mentioned that. That's
And
right.
he, he's not much for peopling. Honestly, he's an artist. He's in art school. He kind of likes to just like do a thing. And he's been running books and stickering books all summer long. And certainly like perusing all the swag in the store. There's so much cool stuff outside of just books at the Boulder bookstore.
Okay.
And I don't know why he picked it. I can certainly ask him, but he is definitely inspired by Japanese anime aesthetic. And I don't know if he's like a Japanophile, like a lot of kids are
Right.
animeophile, but he does like that sort of art style. And I know he's studying several Japanese artists this semester. So I don't know. I'll
Okay.
ask him and get back to you.
He's studying Japanese artists this semester.
Yeah, he takes a class called Imaginary Worlds where they're studying artistic worlds, landscapes that are, sort of ubiquitous in maybe animation worlds, gaming, and there's a couple of illustrators he
Interesting.
really loves that are sort of take like that aesthetic of like the wave, which I think was done around the turn of the century. Most
Hokusai. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Woodblock print.
exactly, who have taken that woodblock print style and the aesthetic, or maybe like the like kind of ratio of color to color, image to background, and have like continued that aesthetic in like modern arts. So I don't know. He's taking the coolest classes. Like, I mean, I studied creative writing. You and I went to the same college, and it was great. And I did all sorts of things in the humanities. But some of the classes he's taking, I'm just like, man, I want to go to art school. Like, I want to be my son right now. I also wish I had his talents. Like, he is a really wonderful artist and can
Does he,
translate what he sees in his mind, I think, very well to the page.
well, he's not fallen too far from the tree here.
Yeah, he
What
can execute some stuff.
does he have a Oh, by the way, I looked at I looked at some art day photos yesterday. I should pull them up sometime. Oh my God,
Okay.
I saw you so young. You're so young. It's so
Yeah, pull
funny.
him up.
Oh,
Show him
I
off.
can't right now. They're on a different
Dave, when
computer.
Dave had hair,
Oh my
Travis, when
God, they're
he was
hilarious.
skinny. I mean, there's so many things to say
Everybody's
about Art
skinny.
Day.
And Jack is like
Oh, young,
our age,
young
He's
Jack.
like,
I know. We thought we'll keep it sweet.
yeah.
Um,
But
no, wait, what were you gonna
what's
say?
Milo? Why was I
He studies illustration. I don't know if you were gonna ask like what is his major.
No. I lost it. No, it's just very cool. I mean, yeah, that's really cool. I would love to. It sounds like maybe his trip, a summer trip over to Japan might be a fun, excursion. And also, I can't, I had the great fortune to know your daughter pretty well, not until at least before she like grew up. And I only have had the chance to like kind of know your son through you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd love to find a way to forge a little homie ship with him if he wants to chat up Japanese art. Not that I know it well, but if he ever wants to chat up something or photography or I don't know, a few of the people that I really know and like here, send him my way for sure. Yeah,
I will.
Send him my way, not actual like digitally. Get him on a chat or something.
He's not much for video chatting.
Yeah, that's fine.
But he's a much more like IRL kid than like he consumes, I think, a lot of online content, but he's sort of in these like closed worlds of games with different groups of friends. Actually, I'm wearing his sweatshirt today. It's a Dungeons and Dragons thing. He's really into imaginary worlds and world building. I think a lot of kids are, and it's fun because maybe to take it back to our podcast a little, I think one of the things I quite love about Phish, and probably you too, is this sort of imagined mythological world of Gamehenge and the lizards and the betrayal and the getting of the book and the repeating of the cycle and kind of like I don't know, a little bit of a sad hero's journey for who is it? Who goes through the portal? What's his name?
Forbin.
Colonel Forbin. Yes.
Yeah.
He's disillusioned in the end.
I think it's,
Not
I
to
mean,
like ruin the end of the story for you all, but
is he? I mean, I don't know if does. I think it's sort
yeah,
of
because
like,
Aaron Wolf takes the book and
yeah,
it
but
all
that doesn't
starts
mean he's
over.
disillusioned. It just means he's an observer. He's I think it's essentially left up to you to decide whether he's disillusioned or not. I don't know if you are
Oh
given that
God, with
detail.
the reflection of our current world, I'm reading Disillusionment today, but
Okay.
the Song of the Lizards, Divided Sky always gives me hope. Which
Well,
is
that's kind of, that actually like that could appeal to anybody who's like, I can't imagine that. Like, it's hard to get around this one. There is an aspect about Phish, and like it deserves its own, week-long conference really to talk about, and
which
not just
it turns out there is one, friends.
this one.
If you really go down the rabbit hole, there are places to explore.
Yeah, but I mean, it is a very Beatley sort of Sergeant Peppersy, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you don't have to like be into D&D and into like Renaissance fairs to appreciate this great tale that they've written, that's like does have some
God.
dragons admittedly and some sword fighting and some, but it's pretty psychedelic, and it's more kind of like a comic book than it is a fantastical tale. It's pretty fun, and it's basically like they made a little Trey's mother comes from kind of Sesame Street. I think she was like a Sesame. She was in
PBS, yeah.
PBS
Or
something,
no,
or
Highlights magazine. Remember,
Highlights
you would
magazine.
go to like the pediatrician. There'd be
Sure,
stacks of those kids'
I love
magazines.
those
I
magazines.
think,
Yeah,
yeah, Highlights, and maybe it was at Sesame Street. Yeah, I
I
can't
think.
recall. PBS for
Well,
sure.
allegedly, like not in New York City and close to Broadway and in the theatrical arts and editorial, and I'm not sure what, but I'm pretty sure there's something to do with like theater connected to that, and Highlights being like an educational sort of platform. Surely it's got to have some like theater stuff kind of connected to it. Anyway, and allegedly, Trey gets his name. Trey
Ernest, were
Anastasia.
you going with the formal Ernest? Go
Yeah,
say it.
Ernest
Ernest the
Giuseppe.
third.
I see his name written as Ernest Joseph, and I'm like, whoa, no,
Ernie
Joseph.
Joe, old Ernie Joe the third. That's our guy.
Well, yeah, who is? I guess his dad
He
must be
is rather
Italian, but
earnest.
his if you go if you
It's
yeah, he
funny.
goes, he's Ernesto Giuseppe Anastasio the third, and his dad is the second, and I don't know.
Giuseppe.
And if you go look at Trey's
Giuseppe.
dad, he goes by Ernie, and
Yes.
he has a striking resemblance to
A
a character
football
on Sesame
coach.
Street. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
Who is that?
Ernie of Bert and Ernie.
Oh
And
no, he always looks to me like, who is that really
like Sam the
famous
Eagle.
coach on like on Chicago
Yeah,
Bears growing up with that
the
mustache?
Bears. Yeah,
Yeah, someone will know. So if anyone's watching, someone
I
will
don't think
know.
anybody really is watching. I think it's really
Uh,
just you and me. There's not a
well,
single
okay, then
comment here or
let's tell a
anything.
quick story. Last
Okay.
night I text Brian, I text you, and I'm like, um, love you, blah blah. I'm going to bed. And then immediately you're like 18 texts like not asking, but gently proposing, should we get on, do a thing? I'm reading your subtext. I'm like, oh, we should do a thing. And then it went back and forth for a really long time. And then finally I'm like, okay, I gotta go to bed now. And it was just so funny. So here we are with very little notice or much of a plan outside of get some time together because we love the hang, and maybe set up our guests that we're going to speak with in a couple weeks when I get back from witch camp. And then I had a couple other things to say, but I don't know. It
Well,
was funny.
let me I'll take it over for a second, and then
Yeah,
I'll hand it
yeah.
back to you. So the thing that the other reason that I wanted to get together with you is the very topic I want to mention, and that is
Yeah.
momentum. Well, last week it was
Ah,
like memory. This week I want to talk about a little bit about like momentum. And I think like it feels like this is episode 14, right? That feels really good. And I know from my photo, like I don't know if music world really stacks on how many shows they've played, and if that's quite a badge of honor. But certainly the years, you know, we've been playing together for 20 years, or we've had 40 years together. But show number 100, I don't know if anybody's really keeping tabs on show 100, because probably that's a number that's more significant to the band than it is to like everybody else.
Okay.
But for us, like, I know that once the train gets out the station, and once you're out on the road, you know, you just feel so good about it, and it gets easier with each one. And that was just a reason. I just wanted to do it, just to do it, just to like to check another, you know, okay, another one, right? And then that had me, you know, we had our little Gaiute here greeting at the beginning, and Gaiuti is the famous pig that's in the character of one of the song, the ugly pig, yes. From the tune Gaiuti, which is on Phish's killer seminal 1997 album Story of the Ghost. And we had Trace, I'm getting a little confused here. We had Trace Altman on last week just as a special pop-up guest. And I imagine Trace never quite made it to Story of the Ghost. You know, I'm guessing he got off the train at Hoist or somewhere around there. Right before Hoist, I guess.
If he even was listening to albums at all, right? Sure. He might have just been like,
no, because I remember he mentioned
sisters, you know, roommates, blah de blah, in the back of the house had all these tapes or something like that. Maybe he was a bootleg guy.
He did mention like, oh, well, that was 93. It must have been like, don't you remember this? He said, what was that? Like Rift? Was Rift out? He knew Rift, and then he said, and then he asked Mike, "Hey, Mike, what's next?" And Mike was like, "Oh, we're gonna go in a new commercial direction." That's Hoist.
Okay.
So it tracks, you know.
All right, sure.
And Hoist being their, I'm gonna say 5th studio record, possibly 6th. Okay, we've got Junta, Nectar, Rift, Hoist is their 4th, and then is that right? Did I get that right?
The White Tape could be considered something like that.
No, that didn't come along till later.
No, it was like
anyway, let's call it 5 or 6. Let's call it 5 or 6 albums. And Gaiuti, Story of the Ghost is still, we still have like the Sicket disc, a live one, and then we have Story of the Ghost. So it's like number 7 or 8. And I just was thinking about like a lot of this is like a personal ego kind of flaw that I have, and I have it all the time. It's an imposter kind of thing that I like find something that I really like, and I feel like I'm really late to the story of the thing. Everybody else seems to know about it, and I'm like, oh, Johnny come lately or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I wish I was at the beginning of the thing.
Do you think that it's real, or it's just like a story in your mind that's kind of persistent because you like to be on the edge of
in fact, I think it's
wave?
It's also like it's incorrect, I also think, because you know, I'm remembering it wrong, or it's just wrong.
Well, our brains are sort of wired for this negativity bias that kind of drives us to do, be, consume, etc. It's like you know, old school caveman cognition that like our brains haven't caught up to the modern world, where like maybe that negativity bias that like kept us from eating the red berry now makes us think like we're not good enough or worthy enough to be on the front line of the record collection or the cool new thing. So it's kind of an interesting edge of psychology there.
We have I feel like so Phish started in 83, didn't really get off the ground until, let's say, 87, right? That's when they got Page McConnell, the piano player, wasn't really a member of the band for a couple of years, and they were playing like, you know, dorm rooms and backyards and things until about 87, 88, and that's when they started playing bigger venues and having residencies at places. And then you have this like 89 to like 93, which is, or let's say, something like that, where there's like this very
those were all all the tapes that we got that got us rabid, right?
Right. But you weren't
Yeah.
old enough, essentially, to be at those shows. I mean, we would have had to been skipping freshman year of high school, essentially, or
I
even earlier.
remember actually being in, I forgot if it was my freshman or my sophomore year of high school, but like the boys that were the year older than me, who like all still great friends with my green team crew, they all went to see a show at, gosh, was it maybe the Roseland in New York City, where like Trey had broken his leg and somebody else had to get on the trampolines to do the trampoline choreography. And that
Interesting.
being like,
I
oh,
think.
hearing about it the next day, and like this tiny little club. Maybe it was the Wetlands, maybe it was maybe it was the Roseland.
Okay.
I think it was, yeah, maybe sophomore year for me, because I didn't see Phish until junior year, but I, was like listening, knew a bunch. I know,
Well,
it's crazy to
there was,
think.
but so we came on, so there was already like 3 albums, essentially. I mean, when we kind of got tapped in, I mean, at least there was 2,
No,
2
there's
and a,
probably 3 or 4. I
3
mean,
or 4, right? We come in and we're like, oh, look, there's this whole thing. And that's happened to me a handful of times. I was never like a Metallica guy, but like the Black Album came out, and like in our high school, I think like everybody loved the Black
yeah,
Album. It was
yeah,
all over MTV. It was like everywhere. And yet they had like, that was like the worst album of the first 7 albums, like crazy Metallica fans claim. And like
yeah.
Chili Peppers had like Blood Sugar Sex Magic. They
Oh
had like
my God,
four,
that
four,
was,
right?
love
But they
that
had like 4
album.
or 5 records before that. And
What's your favorite song off that Chili Peppers album?
you'll love this. I have a great memory of this. We had an English, high school English 10, assignment where we had to like deconstruct lyrics to a song. And my friend
Yeah,
Kathy Getting, she came in with her
yeah.
paper and she said, I've told this before, but she said, okay, this is What I've Got by the Red Hot Chili Peppers in front of our entire classroom. Okay, what I've got, you've got to get it, put it in you. What I've got, you've got to get it, stick it in you.
Oh, she just like read
Give it
it with.
away, give it away, give it away now. The English, and everybody's just rolling. So funny.
How did the English teacher take it?
Just like, no, you're incorrigible. High school it was really funny.
That's
Yeah.
funny. I always really love that song.
Give it to your mama. What you've got to,
Breaking the
give it
Girl.
to your papa.
Amazing. Do you remember the video for Breaking the Girl? It was all black and white, kind of silver edged
Yeah.
cinematography, and a bunch of it was like done in a sort of
Reverse.
backwards.
Yeah, right.
They like sort of backmask the visuals.
Yeah, it was super cool.
And the dancing, and I just like, that is still a fucking crushing song. That cadence is so good.
So yeah, I was thinking like, okay, we had
a little bit like Manic Depressive by Jimi Hendrix, kind of same cadence.
hot take here from Ann.
Hot takes.
So we're gonna have Jamie. So why don't you tell us who we're gonna have on next week?
Okay. Yeah, this is great. This is a setup.
He kind of ties into this. He's very much of this.
Okay. So I've been thinking about this, Brian. And certainly our podcast is about reading things around Phish. But what is becoming apparent to me that I want to name is that we, in our podcasting, storytelling, and digressions, are creating a folkloric storytelling history of Boulder subculture in a very specific time, and that would be your mid 90s through the aughts. And I think it's really, really interesting because we were sort of at this like cultural generative time of the jam band scene in Boulder, when the Fox was going off and the Boulder Theater was going off and these little hippie enclaves were going off, right as the internet is sort of starting to permeate everything. But there's still tapes and CDs and CD burning, and there's not quite cell phones yet, or if there are, they're flip phones. And so I've been thinking about this a lot. I don't know if you ever took class with this particular professor, but there was a Shakespeare professor at CU named God, what was his name? Michael, somebody, old guy, kind of a codger, great storyteller. But he taught all these folklore classes at CU. And I took both Shakespeare with him and folklore classes, multiple. Mike Preston, I think was his name. And he and his wife and this like little enclave of the English department, they would go places and collect stories and artifacts and papers. And before there were memes, meme culture was like stickers and flyers and artwork and rags surrendered to the flow, like when it was a paper rag, or the Schweiss, or liner notes. And by taking all these little artifacts of the people, they would fit together these stories about what was underneath the culture of the culture in these little pockets of time and space. And I feel like in such a big way, I want to name what we're doing here, because I think we are actually capturing this kind of folkloric thread that, and I don't want to be grandiose about this, but I think you and I would both pull it from the late 60s Grateful Dead culture through a Volkswagen bus all the way to what we're doing today, whether this is in the little enclave of Tokyo record style or the vinyl community, in these little pockets and wanting to be on the forefront of a movement, to, whatever, like reading a 40,000 word essay that made it to the Atlantic about our favorite band that was always on the fringe of sort of mainstream music world. So I think that that's what we're doing. And in that context, we're going to have a great guest next time we get together. Our friend Jamie Janover, who locates himself in Boston in the 80s alongside Dave Watts, alongside Edwin Hurwitz, the band Chakra, sort of all these sort of percolating artists that go on to be and do. And we're going to have some fun storytelling with him, aren't we?
Yeah, he is a multi-instrumentalist, and he comes from sort of the tradition where he's not really beholden to any genre of music. And if there was one, it would be whatever we call world music, and that it's
or electronica. I mean, he's also
no.
Well,
yeah, I mean, that's the breadth. It's like Zakir Hussain to electronica. It's and everything in between.
Yeah.
And he's really tapped in, very, very tapped in dude. And he's played with Phish, didgeridoo. He's that dude.
No. Didge? Yeah. Are you sure?
I don't want to steal his thunder, but like, no,
what?
Yes.
Dave used to have a didgeridoo, and that dude loves a circular breathing pattern. I was really excited when I could make it do the like healing hum for 2 seconds, but if y'all have tried to play the didgeridoo before, I mean, often it's a didgeridoo. Am I right?
It's true. It's true. But it is, you can get it. I would guess
Jamie's got some skills.
Of course he does, right? Of course he does. I have a funny little thing. I got to save some of this for him. So anyway, Jamie's coming on, and Jamie, it's a kind of a big get. He's credited on one of the Phish records. I don't know which one it is, but I've read his name in the liner notes.
Is it a picture of Nectar, maybe?
Probably.
We'll do our research before the next time.
Yeah, he's a very interesting cat, and he's just a buddy, And actually, he, I led the migration from like Moe's to Dots in the 90s.
I followed that migration. Thank you very much. I sure did.
And I when I got there was a handful of characters that were a little bit before your time. They were still around. It was the Buzz and
I
Freddie
remember
and Dave
Buzz,
School. Yes.
And somebody, there was a very
the two Jeffs, yes,
surly fucking dude.
Chris,
Chris
was the most surly. Yeah, he wasn't really part of the old school crew. He was from Mothers. He was a Mothers guy.
Did you say Fritz?
No, Freddie.
Oh, no,
Freddie's
of
kind
course,
of that.
Freddie.
Yeah.
I told you I saw him at the No Kings protest with his gal.
Okay.
And it was shortly after he had seen you at a randomly question
Yeah.
mark at a Japanese baseball game,
Yes.
which
Yes.
is too cool.
Well, when I
Too
came
cool.
into this scene, I just wanted to be part of it so bad. And these guys hazed me. I mean, and not
They were not jam banders.
no,
They were
but
punk rockers.
Jamie Janover was the gatekeeper of the cool in that flibbity dibble world. In the double dig, he was the guy who was like, not only was he like a grand poobah of the scene, I'm not going to say the grand poobah, but he was because he had the camera, he had the fisheye lens.
Yes, very.
And he was the keeper of the photos. He had all the photos. And so I recognized him as like, oh, he's a little bit of a linchpin. I don't know exactly who he is, but he plays with everybody. He can play with everybody. He doesn't fit in exactly with anybody. And he's just.
But then he would play with nobody on the Pearl Street Mall by himself.
Amazing. And he does the Everyone Orchestra.
Yes,
and he conducts so he's really fluid, interesting cat. And he warmed up to me. He was like, I mean, he's a New Yorker. He's an East Coaster, and he's also an around the worlder. But he did give me the time of day. I think you might be right. But he didn't have to give me the time of day, and he was intimidating for whatever reason. And he just was kind of like, he wasn't gentle or nice with me, but he kind of like, come on, I'll let you backstage. Come on, get in here. Or whatever it was, but he made that impression on me.
Too cool for school. He had the like super hippie vibes. He had the chops musically. He had all the community connections. There's this really great. He is definitely a connector type of person. He was in the string cheese world. He was in the Phish world. He had that really distinctive art style in his photos. And then he also had that kind of, in later years, like Burning Man, like on the front lines of Burning Man, kind of technological meets analog experimentation. I mean, he'll talk about the Realms Mobile, and we got to get some video to show people like what is it that he was up to all this time. But you would have recognized him from Church Street in Burlington doing the exact same thing on his dulcimer that he did on Pearl Street a handful of years later. So it's really cool. And then he started Sonic Bloom Festival, which I worked at for years and years. Twisted Sisters. And so we had a lot of fun sort of on the other side of his sort of community position when he lived in Boulder, because he doesn't anymore. But he would come into Dots, and he was not a counterculture like Trace, but he would get a booth and kind of hold court a little bit. And, I think enjoyed us and our easiness with him, but would have like meetups with Stacy or Dave or, whoever would come in. He was just like a character. And that's what Dots was. All these characters with all their friends.
There's only 4 Dibbles. Fibble Dibbles, I think, or 5. There's not that many of them. The Bibbles.
There's
and
Dave,
Stacy, Jamie, and
Jamie.
Maya, maybe. Maya might be a Dibble.
I don't know. I got in through marriage. Well, not marriage, but I had the baby Bibble, so I get like I'm like
step Bibble. That's funny.
I have cred because I birthed a Bibble.
In-law, a Bibble in-law. That's funny.
No, I was a vessel. I'm a Bibble vessel. I'm like, I get in, baby.
You're in, yeah. That's cool. Very cool. Yeah.
You gotta get out to get in.
Well, hold on. Okay, so I think you're right, Anne. I think that there's something here, and I definitely want to explore it with you. And it's so funny that it's like
I got to take this off my list of things I want to say. Yeah, keep going.
You mentioned Jamie holding court in the back of the diner, but you and I kind of held court everywhere else essentially for years and years. And it was like, it was a little bit of like a Abbott and Costello shtick thing that we did.
Oh my God. You and I, that's why they're doing our podcast. We have literally been doing this conversation since what? When did you go to the diner? 2000?
No. Long before
90s.
that.
I guess
Yeah.
I must have gone in the 90s too. 97 maybe.
Yeah. Something like that.
96, 97,
96. Yeah.
98. Or no, because I had cast 96. I would say 98, 99. I probably made my
I
transition.
worked at the old diner. I worked at the Pearl Street diner.
I never worked at I only went
Yeah.
there ever once. And you know
Right.
what I ate?
What you have?
I had bacon farmer's eggs and
Oh,
I ate everything, including the biscuit, all the hash browns, and I was pregnant with Cass.
sure.
So how did I eat that giant meal with a baby in me?
Because
But
you were
that's
eating
what
it for two. Yeah.
well, I know it was a lot. That's what happens when you're pregnant at 18. You're just like a wonder instrument. I would not suggest it widely, but that was my story and
Well,
sort of unique journey.
I think we might, I don't know if we're the right people for the job, but like we're a little bit uniquely
We're the only
positioned.
people doing it.
Well, we don't have skin in the game per se. I mean, you do
I certainly do. Yeah.
because you're in the band, really, I think. But I
Well, no, I
don't.
mean, I live here and I like all
Yeah.
those
But
people
what
that
I
would
mean is
order
like,
a breakfast burrito are the parents of the kids I teach. It's actually kind of crazy.
yeah, but what I'm saying is that like there was this music thing happening that you're talking about.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think you named it actually. I think you already named it and you didn't realize you named it.
Yeah, say
But
it back.
culture of culture.
Mm.
And
Say more.
And I love this. I can hear it in your English class. Say more.
Yeah.
But because like it's not that there's, I mean, I put together this photography festival a couple years ago, and I brought all these like otherwise kind of frenemies who didn't really have much incentive to like work with each other because somebody was going to get all the glory, and there's no, and we're all past that, I realize, but we're also in this little unique position where you and I were just kind of like hangers on, kind of, you know, like little just mousy characters, like hee, look, we're over here on the side stage, and it could be an
we were that, and
we could probably rally. You know, Michael Travis of String Cheese Incident said he'd pop on. We can probably get Maya, and we probably get Stacy, and probably get Libby, and probably get I don't know, but you know, all the people that Joe used to be connected to, and Edwin, and
we could get my friend Jason King, my lawyer, to come on. He has a Phish story to tell.
Chris Till of like Cabaret Diosa, and get the Cabaret Diosa people, and like we could probably, like, even if we don't really know them that well, I mean, if they were part of the tapestry of that thing that you're talking about, that moment in time, then let's hear from them all. I want to hear. Let's hear the whole story. Let's relive the days. Let's see what's happening, and let's see.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. It paints a picture. I think this is what I always enjoyed about the folklore classes that I took, and I think actually why I have really loved living in one place for a long time, even in sort of like different venues of the place, is because there's no one story for a time and a place. And I think to get a view of what was the story is to take on a lot of different perspectives. And I want to show you something. I had someone in my life when I was maybe 12 or 13, a camp counselor, got me this book. And it's a book about the deadheads. It's so cool, and it like stoked my imagination. It was these like amazing photographs, quotes of people. Yeah, hold this up for a while. Artwork by
What's it called?
It's called The Official Book of the Deadheads. It's got,
Jerry and Mountain Girl,
like little, and I think there's like an essay by Mountain Girl in here. The opening is written by Jerry, but I mean, I got this when I was at the height of trying to figure out what was I interested in.
You got that at 12 years old? Is that what you said?
12 or 13. Yeah, a camp counselor gave it to me. She was like, "You're gonna need this in your life." And it is so cool. It's really worth getting. I mean, it's got, commentary on set lists. It's got, pictures of people dancing and, all the hippie fashion that I'm like still really enamored by, bus culture.
Did you have
And
this on the ready, or did you just pull this out of?
I had it last week. Like I said, there's a lot
Okay.
of stuff that happened last week that I just like did not get
Oh, it's like
to.
the Farmer's Almanac.
It's a little bit like that, but it's just like all the people that went to the dead. It's their stories. It's the stories of the fans. And Jerry Garcia writes the opening dedication. And maybe I'll read it at some point as we kind of get our culture of culture together. But it's the band, the Grateful Dead knew that it wasn't just theirs, and that the stories and the subcultures within the subculture were really what the Grateful Dead was outside of the music. The music was just one facet of this culture. And so that's what I'm saying. We're pulling a thread from the 60s. I mean, I think our Volkswagen credentials speak for that. Right? Our old school bus creds. But the Dots Diner creds and stories and people like you and I think have just been knotted up in this kind of like fabric, whether
Yeah.
we knew it or not. And I think we did. And I think we loved it. And it's cool that in cultivating this conversation about Phish, I think we get to cultivate kind of capturing this really, bless you,
Excuse
this
me.
really important fringe history, of Boulder, the town, this kind of music scene that, I mean, has it passed? Maybe not, but we're older than we were when it was all unfolding. I don't know. There's a new history now.
Yeah. I'm like, again, like, I don't know if we're exactly the right people, because like what I was getting at about like not really having skin in the game per se, even though I had like an organ and a Fender Rhodes on my house and crazy amps and guitars and things, and like wanted so bad like to be among them,
You
like
were, Trace.
I know I was. This is
You
again like
gotta
this
just
thing about.
swallow the pill. You are it.
Well, you definitely are. You've owned it, and you've stepped up, and I watched the beginnings of your step up to the, how to say, just the big little stage. But now it's like, yeah, you own it, and like I'm still somewhere. I'm still I'm still down here I'm still here at the I'm still the maitre d' of some sort. But it's fun to like think that
I love being the maitre d'. Yeah.
It's fun, but it's fun to think that, yeah, that's where this could potentially go. I'm totally down with that. That I definitely have been thinking about that myself. I've definitely been thinking about like, wow, we should get everybody. We should get the whole gang. We should get everybody back together. We should have like Art Day Online, and should get Jack and get
Love Fest Part 2 in Japan, maybe. Love Fest. That was a whole nother. Well, we got to get Bill Keys too. So, yeah. This takes me to another one of my points on my double-sided page.
Okay.
This is the role of the cringe in performance. This was my note. So I've talked about this before. My son gave me some great advice. Kill the part of you that cringes, not the part of you that's cringe.
Right.
And I like how you said the big little stage, whether it's our podcast or performance with the Maydays, or sometimes, oh God, certainly like sitting down sometimes, like the principal. Oh my God, what words came out of my mouth. I am a person, or just talking to anybody really, I will be really open and have the conversation and be curious. And then after the fact, I will go back through, what did I say? What did I do? And kind of critique myself. And I know that is not helpful for continuing, to get back to your point, a momentum of a thing. And I feel like even our strong and wrong philosophy of podcasting that we have taken from Phish, who gave that advice to Ben and Jerry when they came on Sing Brother.
Strong and wrong, fellas.
Yeah.
Strong and wrong.
and maybe we
We
can talk
should
to
play
Jamie
that.
about it, right?
Yeah.
Is like to get out and do a thing, you have to just be in the along, not in the critique. Like the critic's mind will stop a person from being on that front edge of exploring the thing. And so I love that we keep going with our kind of trying to figure out what it is we're doing here.
Yeah.
Every time I think it gets a little easier to tamp down the cringe. And I think
It doesn't go away, by the way. It just
it doesn't.
it
But
doesn't
here we
because
are with Phish, you know, what, 40 some odd years later. And for better or worse, those guys hit that cringe button probably all the time with themselves, and we still love them, and we love
we
that
love them
part of
for
that.
that. Yeah,
Yes, yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
It's so authentic, and it like gives you the permission to also swing for the fences, and
And Miss Granley.
strike out.
I mean,
And I keep doing it. I'm like,
yeah.
another fucking strikeout, but I keep swinging for a chance for
Yeah.
glory. And I so appreciate it. And when you do, when it is the bottom of the ninth and the bases are loaded and you're down by 3 and poof, you connect, and they're like, it's
you
so
don't even get on
unlikely.
base, but you
Everything's
connected.
It's so special.
Oh,
It's so
shit,
special.
man.
And speaking of which, that's what happened last night. If you didn't, I'm so sorry. It's online. I'm gonna send you the link.
I
I'm
know.
sorry.
So I did some listening, and
Oh
I
God.
got to this gorgeous transition. Let me pull up this. I didn't get to the encore, which I saw timing wise. I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, that was one of the craziest Grand Slam
I
shows
can't wait
of
to
all time.
continue
It's so good.
listening.
Yeah,
But
it was
let me just
hot.
pull up the set list. I got
We're
to
talking about Phish's late summer
wait, where
8
is
show
it?
run that they just started the day before yesterday, and which started at the Bourbon and something thing in Louisville, Kentucky. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
they
Oh,
were on
here
a
it is. Set list.
they were
I
on a
just want to
bill of
see
with
it.
like it was like Bonnaroo, basically 4-day
No,
festival.
but last night, this crazy thing was at their own venue. Oh, I got from Pillow Jets.
Oh God, the Pillow
the
Jets.
very beginning of Mountains in the Mist. I heard
those
that transition.
are that whole section was
And that's
fucking amazing.
I paused. That's as far as I got. But
that's right. Did you listen to the whole first set too?
Yeah. I did.
Oh, good on you.
Totally. I just like
you got nearly through the whole
and
show.
thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
good job.
I got to you like that. I'm trying. I want to learn more Japanese.
Good.
But I did a bunch of grading today and was just intaking. I'm like, man, this is fucking awesome. Like whatever the festival set was all about seems like it pumped them up to like get out of that and get to their jam and just blow it the fuck up. I can't wait to listen to the encore.
I mean, it never let up. It's
amazing.
You can say like encore. We didn't even need an encore, to be honest. And the
encore you don't need is maybe the one that is best to get, right? Like in this case,
it was so good. It was so good.
Amazing.
And what was it? Was the life-saving gun before Pillow Jets or after Pillow Jets?
Right before.
Oh, that's the one, man. That tune, I freaking love that tune. And Sigma Oasis has this like it has sometimes in my mind, never actually in mind, but I can feel the vibe that everybody's like, oh, Sigma Oasis, but
it's been going a lot of places this last year.
I love that fucking song.
When I went to Portland last year for the spring tour 420, there was the centerpiece of that show I think was Sigma Oasis in the first set. It was fucking insane. It's a good tune. Love how Phish is like, yeah, we're going to do this thing we're really, really good at, which is departing from the song structure and getting into that like type 2 exploratory world and sort of jam, what's the word, improvisational world. But I love how they're inspired by the newer songs to do that. And it's fun. Talk about your momentum,
Yeah. Sigma Oasis, Life Saving Gun, Pillow Jets is a masterpiece. It's so good.
I do like Pillow Jets quite a
I think
lot.
it's like a modern
I am a
sort of
conjurer of
gaiety.
thunder. My
Thunder, yeah,
friends would
it's
say the
so
same
good.
in my dancing. I have big conjurer moves, and I really love that song a lot.
Yeah.
Now, here's something that I'm just like really curious about. Say It To Me, Santos. I've talked about this before. I feel played every time I sing hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. I really have strong feelings about hating and now hating that I love to hate on singing
What
hi
about
ho, hi.
Hi Ho Hi Ho? It's just
I'm a
it's
fucking dwarf in Snow White's world hi hoing, and I just feel so played.
well,
But
what are the
hi ho,
literary implications of Hi Ho Hi Ho Hi Ho?
hi
Are they?
ho, hi
I
ho.
know,
Let's
of
talk
course,
to.
but
I don't know. I
is
just
that
it's
cheesy? Is it Snow White Disney or is it
yeah,
something
yeah,
else
of
before
course.
it's Disney?
It's probably a Grimm's tale before it's Disney.
Okay,
Dark
so
Germanic. But
they
no,
are they singing
Santos
hi
is
ho in German or
no, it's in no, there's I
maybe
don't
they are. Maybe they are.
I don't
And
know.
then it
I'm
can
just
take on a
telling you
different
how I feel.
implication.
I feel played. It's dumb. I can hear my dad singing the song. Hi
Hi
ho,
ho
hi
hi.
ho, hi ho. It
It's
just
only like one part. It's only
I
the
know. I know. I don't know why it is so
okay.
bothersome. But I'm really excited to hear the Santos, especially So Close to the Ghost, which is basically just like generally a 6-minute version of Ghost. So I'm very curious to continue listening. And I love Mountains in the Mist where I left off. So
And Mountains of the Mist was such after that like nonstop 2 sets of jamming. It was the perfect like oh god damn, I thought that was never gonna let up. It was the perfect and it was they did it like
it's
did you get all the
exciting.
it was so pretty. It was so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
And I
No,
was just thinking
there's
like,
some great bleepy bloopies that
oh my god, so many and
yeah, yeah.
there it was everybody like I'll get on board with that idea and Mike is definitely in the pocket right now. I don't know
Oh,
like
Mike
he's
is
just
oh
going insane.
fuego. He's
Right?
he's
He's
having a
something
thing right now.
something is happening.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he's just like off on
This
his own little
portal is
dimension, right? I'm
wide
like, what's going on with
open.
Mike? And everybody's like, all right, let's go over with Mike and hang out. And then
Yeah.
that's when Trey goes high, Mike goes high and Trey goes low. And then you're like, yeah, listen to that. It's crazy. And then,
Yeah.
and Phish, Phish is so anyway. So last comment about the show's on right now. We should go listen to the show. It's happening right now, night 2 of Birmingham. Like we're crazy. That was the whole reason to wrap this thing up early.
Yeah, so what time is like
Yeah, I think it
it's
started
starting?
like an hour ago, I think.
Oh, wait, are you sure? What time is Oh, yeah, because it's not East Coast, is it?
It is East Coast. That's the problem. It's East Coast, so it's early.
It started at 7:25. Okay, it's 7:34 in Fish World.
It is? Okay, that means the show's about to start.
Yeah, it is about to start. Are we going to then issue a read just to have
Well,
caught
we've
up?
never done that, but we could do that just to give ourselves permission to do it in the
How
future.
about this? Could I read that Jerry intro from the book to you?
Fuck yes.
Okay.
Please
Read the book. It's
read
an
the
actual
fucking
book.
book.
Yeah, let's read some listen.
You'll have to be on your own
Icculus
reading.
is the
Do I have
man,
anything to
but if
read?
you didn't know that Jerry Garcia is the fucking man, like
He's
where you been,
ridiculous.
friends?
He's the great and powerful Icculus.
All right, so let
He
me
wrote the
ask
book.
you this, Bride. Do you want
Yeah.
to photograph, like kind of screenshot it so you can read along with me? Can you do that or no? Blow it up, maybe?
Let me get in there just a second.
I don't know how easy it is
I
to
know.
find
Give me a
this
second.
text.
Solo layout. I'll try to screenshot it. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work, but let's just try. It's a good idea. Very good idea. Very imaginative, and whoops. I did something wrong. Whoops. How do I get out of this? I pushed the wrong button.
Escape.
Okay. That's okay. That's how do I get out? Oh no, I pushed the wrong button.
Shit.
No, but maybe it's gonna work. Hold on.
Okay.
I don't know how to get out of solo view.
Well, Brian will not be.
You keep reading.
Today.
Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on, but wait, just give me 30.
Yeah.
Let's see if this will work. Oh my God, it might
Here's
actually.
something I'll say while you're figuring it out. Last time,
No, it doesn't come in, and it's all jacked.
okay,
I can
that's
just
too bad.
barely read it.
All
Okay.
right, maybe I'll photograph it to you and send it to you just so you have it at some point.
Yeah. I
I
mean, the
was,
response produced by the Grateful Dead, incredible. It's so pixelated.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
sure.
Sorry.
Sorry. I will just say if you're still trying to figure out how to get us both back, last time we chatted, we talked about memory
Yeah.
and we also talked about musical languages. I went to a bar mitzvah yesterday, and
Wow.
by the end of my time at the service, I remembered how to read Hebrew, which was so interesting. And
Wow.
I was thinking about because your assertion that like Hebrew is musical, I was
I
having
don't.
a hard
Mm,
time feeling into that because the language itself, spoken or read, I find quite guttural and
mm. No,
like
that's it. That's what it.
sticky, but the
Mm,
melodic nature of prayer in Judaism
mm,
is incredibly musical. And it's so funny because I can't remember how to read Hebrew if I were just to look at the book,
right.
but with the music, and then I had this big emotional opening in my heart. It was like my memory lived in both feeling and melody. And like by the end, I was like, oh yeah, I remember how to read fucking Hebrew. It was so uncanny. It was a huge day yesterday.
Interesting.
Not to get too political, but there was a school shooting in Colorado. And the temple that we went to was in the town of the school shooting. And one of the kids who was shot is in this Jewish community. So the rabbi, very cute and single, I hear. Just to bring a little levity. Okay,
Okay.
personally.
Okay.
Anyway, he was like emotional and raw and very like the vibes were just so palpable. It was just a beautiful service, but it was making me think, and I asked my kids about it too last week, where does memory live? That memory must live somewhere where we process sound and rhythm. I'm coming to it more. I think it's somewhere that probably we haven't explored all the way in the brain yet.
Well, they say that I don't know where sound and auditory. They say that like visions in the front, right, is audio, and is in the back, right? I think.
We have some research to do, don't we? We're gonna
This is
have
what
to
I'm
get some
saying. It's
kind
like
of.
we should know this. It seems like kindergarten level of understand. We should know this, but
Isn't it exciting? We can learn so much more at our age. At
it's
our
so
age,
dumb.
we have so much to
This is what I
learn.
was saying, is that like it's wonderful to have a shitty memory because you could just constantly be
You keep relearning.
learning. Yes,
I mean, it's a gentle
serendipity.
way to get at some depth. Maybe like, well, anyway, do you want to hear what Jerry has to
Yes,
say?
but just I didn't get to, I didn't.
Oh, I'm
You'd
sorry. I'm
said the
sorry.
thing
I'm
about
the
the
queen of
French.
the non
No, no, no,
sequitur.
no, 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 no. It's I went back and watched the thing, and I never quite articulated that the through point of the Portuguese and the French and the Hebrew,
Yeah, yeah.
again being the outlier, is that they have this both in them,
The
and
joie. Uh-huh.
in Hebrew
And
it's
the
more of a
yeah, yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah.
but it's the same sort of thing that it's the sound wave dancing through a
Yeah, it's a
little thing.
mouthy
Yeah,
thing.
I
Yeah.
love that about them.
Yeah.
That's what it was that I wanted to point out about it. And it's neither, you know, the P's and the aspirated sounds, for
Yes,
however you
it's
say
a
it.
more
It's
like
more of a
an
vowel,
assonant.
but it's not
Yeah.
quite valley. It's
Okay.
like it's in this along, it's in this in between place. Anyway, I just wanted to like
I love that.
I wanted to yeah, point that out. That was the through connection, and that's why Hebrew gets thrown in with the other two.
Well, it's just so interesting. So, okay. Great. I have crossed
Read it.
off,
Okay, yeah, go.
I
What else you
think,
got?
so much. The last one I have is the moth storytelling hour, but I'll wait for next time when we chat about that because I only
Ooh,
have
I'm
like
intrigued.
Well, I went to anyway. I'll tell you next time.
Okay,
More
okay.
to tell, but I think it's in the context of like folkloric storytelling and maybe a little bit of what we're finding we're doing together as we unfold our podcast.
1 second. Gary Harris is our one and only whoops, is our one and
Harry
only
Garris.
did I say Harry Harris?
No, I'm just saying.
Or Gary
Gary,
Harris.
woo woo. Hey, guy. I love
Gary,
this
we love
one.
you being here.
This is new.
Is the comment up? I can't see it
Hey,
exactly.
everyone.
Okay,
That's
Gary,
all I see.
I have one little shout out to give to Gary.
Okay.
Last night I went and struck out
Phenomenally.
royally. Yes, it was embarrassing. I was out on the streets of Tokyo trying to interview people, and I was just making a fool of myself because nobody was just like no fishing. You know, I feel like it's fishing, and like some days you just don't catch any fish, and like you fake like putting a fish on a hook, and you're like, look, I caught one, when you really actually, you know, didn't. It felt like a little bit of that. So I put the camera. I just gave up, you know. I just like wrapped it up and left with my tail between my legs, and I got on the motorcycle and I put the 3D camera on it, and I drove around Tokyo for literally 2 hours. It was so great. And when you do the 3D camera, it's really fun because you can control the view. I got the camera mounted on the front of the bike, and then if you just move your mouse around, you can see whichever
I hope
angle
you're
you want to
doing
see.
that at a stop sign.
No, I'm not
while
doing
you're
anything.
zooming about.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just writing. And you, the viewer who's watching it at home, you can move it however you want to move it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's pretty
Okay.
interesting.
I understand now.
But you can also leave comments, but I can't see the comments and I can't react to the comments. And I saw some chatter going on later when I went back and like watched the footage.
I'm glad because
and Gary, bless his heart, left me with a $5 super chat, which paid for probably the gas to get me all around town.
Gary,
so Gary,
way to show up for Bri. I love that.
I think, wasn't it Gary? I hope it was Gary. And if I'm mistaken, forgive me.
It was Harry.
It was Harry Garris. Sorry.
Oh, he likes it. Good.
Okay. All right. It was cool to see the ride home. Yes. All right. Cheers, man. No, thank you for that.
Can I ask a question
from
sure. Gary Harris? Is where does he live that he's curious about, 3Ding around Japan? Does he live in Tokyo? And he's just like me.
Notes of everybody who's living. I'm making
everybody, huh? Everybody.
Well, no. I want. The thing is that like I want to know
where they are.
To like remember the avatars. A little bit hard, and because you're like Gary Harris, and you kind of like hold on. Go to sheets. It's filed in trash. Why is this in trash? Hold on. I want to see if I have.
You have a really interesting audience from all over the place.
Gary's in Baltimore. I got it. It's in my notes.
He should go to Micah and go meet my kid. Well, but don't be weird about it. That actually could go wrong. But anyway, Baltimore, that's where my son lives. Yay, Baltimore.
Yeah, cool.
Whoop, whoop.
What's going on and who do we know? What did you say? Go see my who in Baltimore?
That's where Milo goes to school. He goes to Micah.
Oh, okay.
Is he in Baltimore? And I have been there once. When I was there, kids were not really in session, but it's cool. And where the school is neat. But I will find myself in Baltimore more as the next couple of years unfold.
Nice. Micah is a great school.
Fuck yeah. I have such mom pride. I need to get I am a Micah parent t-shirt, but
do it
like a cool one. They're art students, they can make it cool.
Speaking of hoodie, did you see Trey's hoodie? Did you see his
I was like
hoodie?
Trey in a brown little
$800
hoodie.
Pretty good.
Do you follow the Phish fashion guy? It was so expensive.
And I got a lot of comments on it myself personally. I'm just kind of infatuated with the whole thing.
I feel like maybe that was a inspiration to wear a sweatshirt today.
Your inspiration to us? Interesting.
Maybe. I'm not like a big, let me put on my sweatshirt and get on the internet. I usually try and look a little cuter, more put together, kind of fashion-y. But
you do you.
It's Sunday.
Yeah, right?
It's Sunday.
Speaking of which, never miss a Sunday show.
Okay, let me read the Jerry.
Yeah,
and then
read
we'll
it.
Hop on off and let's get to Phish, and maybe we'll text as we're doing it. Okay, I'm going to read the preface of this book.
I'm going to make it big.
Okay. Here's what we're reading today. We were going to read Japan, but we decided against it. It is called. Oh, geez,
Pull it up one more time. There you go.
Okay.
Grateful. I love that font. It's so cool. Grateful Dead. I can't read it.
The
Grateful what?
official book of the Deadheads.
Oh, groovy.
So cool, right?
Right.
And so Jerry Garcia is writing the preface, and I'm going to read this. Back in 1965, some of my friends and I answered a cosmic want ad, caps, cosmic want ad, for, quote, mind expansion, the experimental life laboratory, continual musical education, socio-pharmaco, musicological adventures, and weird and wonderful trips, end quote. The response produced the Grateful Dead. Incredibly, it turned out there were lots of other people in the world who answered the same ad. They became the Deadheads. Oh, I'm like almost emotional reading it.
Wow.
All of us have a special relationship to the music, which in turn behaves as if it has a mind of its own. Around the time of the Human Being, when we were the neighborhood band, the Acid Band, someone came up to me after a show and said, "Hey, I remember you. You were at music school with me in heaven." That cracked
Whoa.
me up. It is typical of the one-liner exchanges I have had over the years with Deadheads, a good-humored bunch who never allow us to take ourselves too seriously. It has been my entertainment to walk around and catch the humor of these characters and become their audience. During the hiatus of 1975, while working on the Grateful Dead concert movie, I became familiar with a number of Deadheads via the process of editing film. These characters, seen waiting online or dancing in the crowd, became stars in the most direct kind of way, as much as I am to them at the other end of the spectrum. For me, I know, isn't it like so sweet? For me, making the film gave Deadheads the opportunity to be larger than life, a state normally reserved for actors in the movies. I got autographs from some of them.
Wow. Bless sweet Jerry. That's so nice. Really?
Last paragraph. I see the Deadheads both as familiar faces in the audience and stars in their own right. All of us involved in this reciprocal entertainment, including the authors of this book, know something about these things. The Book of the Deadheads is a celebration of the whole set of relationships involved in this long, strange trip. Oh, I hope you are enjoying it as much as I am. Jerry Garcia.
Wow.
Isn't that
Amazing. I don't think I've ever heard like Jerry having written like a little piece. That's lovely.
Isn't it so special? It's such a little corner pocket of evidence that, like, to be the band is not just to be objectified, but it is to be a sort of subject in all these other stories that you are not the main character of, as like the show or the tour is going down or the listening is happening. And it's funny because in the MSG little mini run a couple summers ago, Trey said something like, "We're as big a fans as you as you are of us," or something like that. And it's kind of that similar like subject object mind fuck of loving and seeing a band so much and being in community even. So I thought that that's a good setup for our
Beautiful.
future.
I'm a freedom freak, and I'm not one to like latch my boat onto anybody else's. And as soon as that it
Yeah.
feels like I'm about to do that, I'm just like I'm off in the
I know
other
you gotta
direction.
run.
But this one, I'm just in a state of surrender, and it's not because I'm like hoodwinked, I don't think, but it's because, again, back to this idea, like I get out of it more than I put into it. And just musically, like it's so rewarding. Yesterday's show was a perfect example of it. And it like, it was really exploratory, and it like probably it's getting into my subconscious of like in daily life somehow. It's like I don't know how like a jam from a Conjurers of Thunder, pillow jets of sound will like affect affect the way I might have like a human relationship with somebody else. But I'm actually kind of sure it does.
Yeah.
And it's
sure.
like it's almost like yeah, it's a kind of medicine. It really is.
Indeed.
I love hearing Jerry in his words, and he was a little bit of a cantankerous, what'd you codger, a little bit of one, I think. And it's nice to hear sentimental, sweet Jerry, because he's so full of that. He's as full, if not more full of that than he is of the other sort of oh God, not that one again. But he's always
it's that trickster mentality. You can be both and.
Yeah.
And that's both and is sort of like the or yes and is that like improvisational game, right? And we play that, you and I, and we have for a long time. We play hard at that, and it's really at the heart of, I think, what we enjoy with people, culture, storytelling, music, the swing and the miss, all that.
Yeah.
So
should we go?
Let's go
listen to this show. That was fun though, and I'm glad we connected. It was a fun little
me too, Bri. Thanks.
Let's keep exploring the like Boulder cultural idea. I don't know if that's what it is, but let's land on. It's cool. Let's get everybody. Yeah. It's gonna be fun. And so the next show, unless we can just pull an impromptu one up before then.
I don't think we have time in between.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm going away, and I got blah, blah, blah.
So we're off for a week, and then we're gonna welcome our pal Jamie on the next stream on the 27th, 28th. You'll see it. It's our
26, 27.
I think it's 27, 28. My 28.
All right. Well, anyway, in a couple weekends we'll be back.
Yeah. All right.
Happy birthday, belated.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Oh, and I have one last thing.
Yeah.
I was talking records with a kid in one of my classes.
Yeah.
And I was asking the question, tell me something you don't know. I like do these little mini interview questions at the end of class.
Okay.
And he said, did you know that record collecting is really expensive, Miss Rawson? And I said, I did. Not that I know from experience, because I haven't bought a record in a long time, but I'm part of this, like, I'm on the fringe of this vinyl community. And yes, I do know this. So anyway,
we're getting priced out. I'm getting priced out.
I'm sure you are, which is amazing that people send you records. What a blessing. And you get amazing things gifted. But I just want to tell the vinyl community, there are young people in the world who are excited about collecting records. And I want that to hit your community of people, because for there to continue being a culture of culture, people gotta be on this boat. The young kids are listening to records, friends. At least one.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, I heard the phrase recently, when you realize that you have less life ahead of you than you have behind you, and dong, that was like a gong. Yeah. Right? It just was like, okay. And it said you just start having all these awakenings, and I don't want these records to be a burden for anybody. I don't want them to be a burden for my family, and hopefully they'll pay for something, I guess. But I love the idea that I don't think about this, but I love the idea that, eventually they'll end up somewhere else where somebody else will be appreciating them. And it's like somehow a little piece of you gets to go on. So yeah, we should all be mindful that, if we do price, ourselves out, we're pricing out a whole nother generation of people who are coming up behind us.
And there is something in that artifact of the original, or the tactile artifact. I mean, for me, it's books. I mean, I have hella bookshelves everywhere. Your records, I'm books. I mean, this is just one little space in my house of bookshelves, but I'm with you. Louise. I know. It's cuckoo. All right, Brian, let's listen to Phish.
Let's listen to Phish. Sunday show. Never miss a Sunday show. Party on. Okay.
Party on,
Gayute.
Wayne. Gayute.
All right.
Goodbye,
I'll
friends.
see you. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. Appreciate
Me,
you guys
Gary,
being
and
here.
Brian.
Thanks, Gary. Hey, and thanks for yesterday,
Small and
Gary.
mighty.
Strong and wrong.
Strong and wrong.
All
You
right.
heard it here.
Love from Tokyo. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
friends.